Which is the best pot for baking bread? Cast iron pots are a huge investment. I was handed down this 28cm Dutch oven, which I learnt to bake in initially. Then got the signature Le Creuset bread oven for a birthday present. So let's compare making my signature bread loaf in both. I made the dough at about 6 p.m. the evening before. It only uses 2 grams of yeast for this large loaf, which means it needs a very long proving time. It proved for around 18 hours just sitting on my kitchen side. You can even stretch the time out longer by cold proving it in the fridge. It's a very sticky dough, so it helps a lot if you use a dough scraper to help you do your stretch and folds. Building tension in the dough makes shaping so much easier. It's now in a nice ball shape, then it gets rested for 2 hours and you can see clearly how much it's spread. Stretch and fold again, then do your final shape. I do think that the pot it's baked in does contribute to the final shape of the loaf, but your shaping technique is very important too, and that's what you need to focus on before spending hundreds of pounds on a cast iron bread pot. Both pots and lids need to be preheated in the oven before the dough goes in. Then they're baked for around 45 minutes with the lid on. This keeps the moisture in and stops the crust from developing too early and going too dark. The lid comes off for the final 25 minutes, and I also like to cover with tin foil again to stop it from going too dark. And here they are baked side by side. I love the writing and the imprint on the bottom from using the bread oven, whereas something that really annoys me about the Dutch oven is that you have to use baking parchment with it, and that causes indentations around the edges, which really bug me. Here it is from the bottom, and you can see that the top loaf baked in the casserole dish is slightly wider. The bottom loaf that was baked in the bread oven has a much neater domed shape, but it does have this dark baking line around the circumference. I am really nitpicking here. Now let's look inside. I think there is little to no difference at all in the taste, the crumb and the crust. Here they are side by side, and the one baked in the casserole dish is around 2 centimeters wider. However, it is flatter. This is a slice from the middle of each one. The only thing that trumps it for me is that classic pattern on the bottom of the one baked in the bread oven. I had to quickly make this into some sandwiches for my kids' packed lunches. Then I slice it all up to get them ready for freezing or for storage. The secret to nice even slices is a really sharp bread knife, but also not cutting with your pressure downwards, instead sawing backwards and forwards. For the last slice, which is mostly crust, I slice it up into chunks to make into breadcrumbs. And that's it. The difference in the two loaves is minimal. Therefore, if you're going to invest in one, I think it should be the Dutch oven, just because you can make so many dishes in there, not just baking bread. Thanks so much for watching, and you can find my bread recipe linked in my bio.